Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to an impromptu Damaged Incorporated stream. This is a spur of the moment type of stream for everybody. And also, it's been a while since I've done a stream. It's been what, almost half a year and stuff like that. So yeah, I got the one and only Mean Metal Mike here.
What's up, people?
Yes, but like I said, this was an impromptu like spur of the moment stream because Nicko McBrain, the longtime and legendary drummer of Iron Maiden, announced tonight that the show tonight will be his last, and he will not be touring with the band. He'll still be doing stuff for the band, you know, recording wise and all that stuff. But he will no longer be touring. And we thought, spur of the moment, we do a tribute probably it's not going to be a long tribute show, probably an hour or so, but a tribute show for Nicko McBrain, who is arguably one of the greatest drummers of all time. And obviously, a lot of people know Iron Maiden is my all-time favorite and my number one. For a long time, Metallica was, but Iron Maiden in recent years, probably since in the last 10 years, probably after Book of Souls, they have been my number one favorite band of all time. And for majority of their discography, outside of three albums, their drummer has always been Nicko McBrain. So yes, obviously Mike had suggested the top his favorite, I would say favorite songs of Maiden. I would say probably ones that Nicko McBrain has done, but I have to probably piece together certain
Yeah,
songs that I would think,
top 10. Top
yeah,
10.
top 10. Yeah, top 10 and all that stuff.
Yeah.
If I'm to go first, I think one that I think instantly, because I had to pull out all the albums that Nico has been on. Like I said, he wasn't a part of the first three albums made, but I think one that I think instantly comes to mind, Aces High. That's that is one of those that I instantly think of when I think his drumming. I instantly think Aces High is arguably one of his best drumming performances on an album. But well, that's my first one. Mike, what's your first one?
I'm going to go with a deep cut, Sign of the Cross, off of X Factor.
Oh, that is a good song. That's I was not expecting that. That is a hidden gem. The whole I think that whole album, and eventually at some point I'm gonna do a deep dive for Iron Maiden at some point. Mike might be involved in it. Metal Ben might be involved in it, but the whole album of the X Factor is an underrated album. I can't say the same about the
Yeah.
next one after that one, but Silence Across is like it's one of their longer ones. One of their which surprises me that you went with a long song, a 13-minute song, but kind of interesting to say the least. If I have to
Yeah.
pull out,
Very, very.
if I have to pull out another one or something like that, and now I also have to get the bigger albums, Senjutsu and Book of Souls. Whew, I wouldn't say it's mostly him, but it's kind of a unique song that he was a part of. Um, the writing uh, is an instant gem. You still there, Mike?
I'm still here.
Okay, yeah. Writing
Sorry,
on
I'm
the wall. Yeah,
texting
writing on the
someone.
wall is Yeah, Writing on the Wall is one of those. It is easily one of those unique songs. I mean, his drumming is kind of yeah, but the whole song itself is kind of like a. It's got that the first time when it came out and it was brand new 21. Jesus, that was kind of a unique song. It's one of the unique ones on the album, and I like that song. It's a fantastic song. I mean, yeah, Nico's drumming isn't, it's what he would normally do. It's he was playing it safe and stuff, but the song itself is kind of a unique one. And I think when I think of some of the stuff for Iron Maiden when Nico was in the band, it's easily a standout.
Hmm.
Uh, okay, what's your next one?
Gonna go off of the Peace of Mind album, Sun and Steel. Oh my gosh, that's a great ripping tune. Another
Oh, one
deep
of the
cut. Probably my second favorite Nico song. He's pounding the drums on that track, and man, that's such an underrated track. Sun and Steel for number two for me.
yeah. I don't know if you're gonna mention this, but yeah, obviously Nicko McBrain has been in the band for my next one. Nicko McBrain has been in the band, he said 42 years. And during that time period, and this one's gonna be an album because it is has to do with Nicko McBrain. He only ever had on an official album one songwriting credit, and it's from Dance of Death, New Frontier. I mean, the song itself it's kind of by the numbers. I mean, majority. I think outside of Nicko McBrain being on it, it's really Agent Smith and Bruce Dickinson. So it's going to be what their standard stuff is. But it is the one and only song credit or songwriting credit Nicko McBrain has ever had in the band, and it literally it's the only one he has ever done. And like I said, the song itself isn't really anything new. It's kind of like what you would expect from Iron Maiden. It's kind of like it's a quick song. It's just like your traditional Iron Maiden song. But I wanted to throw that in there because it's the one and only songwriting credit that Nicko McBrain has, at least so far, in Iron Maiden.
Yep.
But yeah, bet y'all
Me
didn't know
next.
that. Yep, you're next. The third.
We're gonna go. We're gonna go with go on to the album after X Factor. I'm gonna go Future Real, the opener off of
Ah, yes.
Virtual 11. I think that's a good track. I like Nico's drumming on that track. It's fast, heavy,
Yeah.
kicks you in
Yep.
the ass. Good
I mean,
fast
we all.
tempo,
Yeah.
fast tempo song.
Yep. One of only. I can understand that. It's one of only two songs on this entire album that I'm like, it's pretty good. Future Real is like, yeah, the vocals are great, but at the very least, the song itself, it's like, oh, it's short and it doesn't insult your intelligence. It's relatively short, so it's like, oh, doesn't overstay its welcome. Doesn't overstay its shittiness. So it's like, eh. The rest of the album, I can defend it. The rest of the album, but that and the Klansman are the two best songs. And yeah, I can understand. It's one of the quicker songs. How quick is it? I gotta remember. It's gotta be under. I think it was under 2 minutes. It's under 3 minutes, so it doesn't overstay its welcome. So it's like it's a 2 minute song. Yeah. If I have to look through here, what am I on? Am I on number four? Okay, I'm going off of another double album from this one's from Book of Souls. I think you should obviously know what I'm going to be mentioning. The title track. My God. I listened to this one and I'm like, this kind of sounded like it's like somewhat familiar to me. And then it dawned on me of like, oh yeah, this kind of has somewhat of a same vibe to I mean a completely different band, but it's kind of a coincidence. They were influenced by Maiden and they toured with Maiden back in I think 2010. And that would be Dream Theater song Outcry. Book of Souls kind of has the same vibe to it. Kind of a low. It's kind of a little dark a little bit, but then once it gets into it, it's so damn good. And I think this is arguably one of the best modern Iron Maiden songs of all time. It is over 10 minutes, but at the very least, it's fucking fantastic. Absolutely love it. Nicko McBrain's drumming on it. It's like, yeah, it's simple, but but it serves the purpose of the song of how heavy and just how it kind of has a dark atmosphere to it. Kind of similar to Outcry from Dream Theater, even though both are kind of different styles. I mean, Maiden is progressive metal in some cases, but comparing my Maiden and Dream Theater, it's like it's different. They're both different. But yeah, Book of Souls, fantastic song, love it. Mike, your fourth pick.
Fourth, gonna have to go with "Be Quick or Be Dead" off of Fear of the Dark. Another fast song.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
think Nico's never played a song anything faster than that.
nice. Yeah, that entire album is great. Love Fear of the Dark. I'm going to go with an obvious one.
And
Brave New. Oh, you still going?
I was just saying, I don't agree with you on Fear of the Dark being a great album. There's some crappy
I love
songs
that.
on it.
I love the album. I love the whole album. It's a fantastic album. It's easily one of my favorites from them. It's a low key underrated gem for me. Then we get to
Without
my
Holy
next.
Smoke.
Nah, the whole album is great. Love the whole album. Next one, I'm gonna go with Wicker Man. The return of Adrian Smith and Bruce Dickinson. Fantastic song. I had nothing much else I could say about it. That's my fifth one. Not much else I could say about that. Wicker Man. Great song. I think that's my fifth one. Mike, your fifth.
Number five, The Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner.
Oh yeah. Of course.
Well, it's an epic, man. Especially that
Yeah.
middle section where Nico's just going all over the song in his drum set. Oh, it's great drumming on that song.
Yeah. I'm gonna be controversial here about that song. Does not need to be 13 minutes. I think I could still be fine with it being an epic, being 10 or 11 minutes or something like that, but it did not need to be 13 minutes long. That's the only complaint I would have with it because it's got too many longer like gaps. I'm like, God, why is it taking forever? It's like great song, no offense to it, it's a great song, but I just think tad bit too long for me. Next one, what can I go with on here? You mentioned "Be Quick or You Be Dead." I'm going with the title track from Fear of the Dark. Love love that track. Like I said the whole album front to back for me is great. It's a top five favorite of mine, or easily top 10, but it's easily close to being a top five favorite for me. I absolutely love it, and you know, I thought it was like it kind of reminds me like some of the early albums. It reminds me of how it's like self-title and Number of the Beast. It's like a continuation of those where every song for me is great. There's not a weak moment on that album, and I absolutely love it. Love it. And the title track, encapsulates that whole album perfectly and ends it great. I absolutely love it. So that is my sixth one. Your next one, Mike.
Six for me. Six, go Power Slave. Another ripping tune.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
care.
that would have been probably one of my favorites. True, I would have probably said that, but I'm going with some other ones. Yeah, go for it. The next one. off of what I originally thought was the worst Maiden album. There is a couple of songs I like off of this one, and one of those being "The Alchemist." Freaking probably one of the best songs off of Final Frontier, and they were trying to go on the prog route at this point, but they were dabbling in that in A Matter of Life and Death, but they went into the full on prog on Final Frontier. But there is some short songs, and The Alchemist is one of those short songs to I think it's the shortest song on here. 4 minutes and 29 seconds, and love the song. Love it. Probably one of my favorites off of it. So that is number 7 for me. Mike, you're number 7.
Seven, nope, not seven ton. I was teasing people. That's not the song. Haha, that would have been fun. We're gonna go
That
with.
song, I love that song. I love that song.
We're gonna go with Moonchild.
Oh, God damn it! Oh, I hate you for that. Oh, I hate you for that. You know what? Fuck it. Oh, let's both talk about it. Moonchild. Let's both talk about it here because why the fuck not? That will also be my number 8 one. Moonchild. Probably that is easily one of 2 songs I love off the album. Ferrari. I can think of 3 actually. There's 3 on that I can count on my head that I love from. So it's Moonchild is one of those. I love it. Love it. Bruce's vocals and just the whole song in general is love it. Okay, so I bet both of us share 7 and 8. Okay, what's your number 8, Mike?
We're gonna go Ghost of the Navigator off of Brave New World. That's the only song I like off the album.
Wow, that's surprising. I like that one too. Dude, I wouldn't say it's a gem for me off of that album, but I do think it's a good song. I really do enjoy it. But if I'm continuing my journey on the whole Seventh Son. Can I play with madness? Fucking love that track.
Yeah.
Fucking love it.
Yeah.
I love that song. I love it a lot. It's a fantastic song. I love it. I believe that is my number 9. You're number 9. What are your 9 pick?
Don't like the song, but I love the drumming on the song. We're gonna go with Deja Vu off of Got Someone to Die.
Ah, nice. And then I think we're coming to our final one. I I have to. This is one I needed to think about quite a bit and think to myself, which one is going to be next that I will say when it comes to some of those. But I think you tend to save the best for last. And to me, yeah, obviously, this one's the one I save for the best. The best for last. I think you should know what it is, Mike.
Oh,
Empire.
it's Alexander the Great.
No. For me, it's Empire of the Clouds. The 18-minute epic. Now, I just have to throw in some random ones into this one, but if I have to pick the definitive one you say the best for last, this one for me is the best. Arguably, to me at least, and I know there's probably others who will probably say the same, I love Empire of the Clouds. It's arguably one of, to me, one of the greatest Iron Maiden songs of all time. Like I said, to me, You don't have to agree with me, Mike, but I absolutely love Empire of the Clouds. But
Well,
what's your
my number my number 10 is a two-for, so it's two songs for number 10.
ooh?
Alexander the Great,
Hmm.
and you're gonna go with Die with Your Boots On.
Oh, there's Hyde. That's a dive with your boots on. That's yep. That's on peace of mind. Interesting. Why those two? Why those? I'm curious, Mike.
They kick ass. The great song. They kick ass.
Can't argue with that. Cannot argue with that. Now, I mentioned that this was, I mentioned earlier at the beginning before we went into this, that this was his last show that he's doing because he's not doing any more touring, obviously. So why don't we go because we got a little bit more time to try and draw this out a little bit because this only took about 20 minutes. Let's think of some people of who could be the one that could do drums for Iron Maiden on tours going forward after tonight. Mike, who do you got? Suggest who do you think will be
I,
doing this?
I think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be anyone we know. I think it's gonna be probably a younger drummer, someone who's not well known in the drumming community. That or Iron Maiden did what I think Primus did and tells fans, hey, we're gonna have auditions. Steve Harris tells the fans, hey, we're gonna have drumming auditions. Put your videos out there. I think
Yeah.
it's either gonna be some fan from the internet that's young, or
They
it's
could
gonna
go,
be another
but if
young
they were,
drummer.
they could go. I think I'd go. I think there's some. I think yeah, that's a possibility. But they could go with someone that they know can pull off doing this kind of stuff like someone established that is a Maiden fan. I think I mentioned because I mentioned the whole Dream Theater thing. Could you imagine if it's Mike Mangini? Because think about that.
No,
It's like
because Iron Maiden would never do double bass drums. They've always been a double bass drum band. That was that. They wouldn't want to change
yeah.
away from the formula. So that would rank out Mangini. Or
I mean, I think it would make a lot. I instantly thought because I made the connection with Dream Theater. They toured with Maiden, obviously. So I instantly thought, oh, that could be something. But if we're going with somebody that could make sense, you have to think of somebody. Okay, who could have been influenced by Nicko McBrain? Who could have like a big name, like an established
there,
drummer that could have
Manowar,
easily. It was
Manowar, the drummer that filled in for Manowar, he's currently on YouTube. Aquilus Priester.
hmm,
Look him up. Listen to some of his stuff. He sounds like a mixture of Clive and Nico and John Bonham.
okay.
Plus, he has
I
that
can't. I
80s
can't say.
style drum.
I can't say Portnoy anymore because he's back in Dream Theater. So that's out of the question. If
Not many
Dream Theater,
drummers
in
you can
Dream
put
Theater,
into Maiden.
oh, and that's because you'd have to be
Now,
someone who was. That's kind of difficult because you think. I think instantly, if you were in Dream Theater, you could have easily been one of those that could have easily played in Maiden, considering you know with the history between the two, they have similarities. Obviously, they two were together. Obviously, they had what's his name, Kevin Shirley. Kevin Shirley worked on some Dream Theater albums before he switched over and has been working with Maiden ever since. I mean, there's that connection. You would think right off the bat, that would be like, oh yeah, Mangini would easily fit into the band.
Well,
But you said
here's an idea. What about Bruce's drummer in his solo band? Or Steve Harris's drummer in his solo band? Curtis
that's
Klein or
let
Bruce's
me see
solo.
what they got. Who is the? Let me look on here because I got the whole. I got the album, and it all depends on who the drummer is. I forgot. Are we talking from earlier Bruce Dickinson solo albums or currently?
It's current.
Who do we got? Who do we got? Um, Dave Marino was on this new one, but then they also could get the guy who was the drummer for those two great Bruce Dickinson solo albums, "Accident of Birth" and "The Chemical Wedding," and also to some extent Boston Picasso, because that was kind of pretty much the same band, just it was not the same style, unfortunately. But I will say that out of the early Bruce Dickinson solo albums, Boston Picasso is the best. Um, but yeah, I think they'd get that guy who was in Tribe of Gypsies, the band Tribe of Gypsies, that drummer. I think he could work in some case. I think his drumming is great. I think that would instantly work. What about the drummer in the British Lion? I don't. I no wait, that wouldn't work. That would not work. No, no, that wouldn't work. Um, who's
Why
the
wouldn't
drummer?
it work?
I know. Does Smith and Cosson have a drummer? I forget. I know they probably have a drummer. What's the drummer's name in Smith and Cosson? Would that work? I don't think that would work. Might be a long shot, but I think the only one out of all those who have an attachment with Maiden or anything, with British Lion, Bruce Dickinson solo, I would think the drummer, was it Eddie? Eddie Castillo? I can't remember who it was. Mm. But yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head who it was, though. But is Clive? No, Clive passed away, right?
I'm still here.
No, did Clive Burr pass away, or is he still around?
Who's Clive?
Yeah, Clive Burr.
Remember he passed away?
Oh, what year?
He's dead.
I
He's been
forgot.
dead since I think.
Okay, yeah, so that's out of the question.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, you'd have to
Clive's
really
been
think
dead
of.
since
It would have to be somebody. It would have to be somebody who was. So you would have to think. Oh, they'd have to have like a history in progressive metal and power metal. Like that's how I would think it would have to be when it comes to being getting into Maiden, because Maiden influenced a lot of power metal bands and progressive metal bands. So with Nico Star, you'd have to find someone who is in the prog stuff that would work.
It
And there's
doesn't have to be Prague.
could be like you said, it could be like I said, power metal too. Could be a power metal drummer. Like I don't know who would work in that case. Oh, uh, what was his name? What was it? Martin Lopez from Opeth. He could work. I mean, he's in Stone. That could probably work. Um, who else? Is Maiden touring with anyone right now, or is it just
I don't.
themselves?
No, not really. Maiden's just torn by themselves.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, who could work? Let me look through here. No, can't. Eh, no, no, he's busy. Um, shoot, who'd work in this case? No, but I don't think that would work. Um, what about the Queensryche drummer? I don't think that could work.
I don't know. What do you guys think in chat? What does chat think? who should be
Yeah, I'm
maybe
like we
the
don't have that
drummer?
many. Who
Yeah,
should be who should be the
three people
touring
bottom.
drummer? Yeah,
Well,
I don't
Nico
see
said he's
many
retired from
people.
touring.
Yeah, he's retiring for touring.
I
That doesn't
wonder if
mean, like
he's
I said,
actually
it's a company. He's doing the recording. Obviously, he's going to record Maiden albums. Obviously, he's got.
what if he ends up coming out and saying like he's officially done due to his health?
Uh,
Does maybe do you continue on or do you retire the band or does Steve Harris retire the band? Or do you continue on with the young drummer?
mm, they might do these tours and then maybe call it. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I would think you go forward with the tours you got planned, and then you call it. You call it a career after that.
Yeah. Unless they make a big final send off studio album. No tour, just an album.
They could do that, yeah.
And surprise everyone.
Yeah, one big album.
It's probably going to be a double out. If it's the last album, I imagine it's either going to be a double album or it's going to be an
You
album
could
that
do it where,
harkens
yeah,
back.
you could do it. You could do it where one album, one disc. If you're doing it double, I mean, that would be perfect because you could get Blaze. You could have the first song being kind of like stuff that would sound like they would be on the first two albums, like quick songs. They are relatively long and stuff. And then you go into like the second album that's got Bruce and stuff like that, and you do long stuff. And that goes to the full 80 minutes. Like, you don't have to have the other one be the full 80 minutes or something like that, but I think that would work. I would think that could work where you have one disc being the quick, short, kind of like the classic stuff. You can have a mix of alternative, having some sound like they would be on the first album, first two albums. So we might get Blaze because I think Blaze can pull off doing songs that are like that, doing the stuff that sound like Paul Diano and such. Um, and maybe you can also have Bruce
Does
be
it
in there
have
as well.
does it have to be Diana style though? It could be something totally new. End off with something new, fresh, new sound for Maiden as a farewell. Something
Mm.
totally new.
Well, you're gonna have to play all. Well, with them, it's like you could play. Yeah, be cool, but I think it would be you want to appease some of the older fans and stuff like that. We would have to play some stuff that would sound like their old stuff, like some of their early stuff, and then play some stuff that would be maybe brand new or something like that.
Yeah. Or they just make a live album and call it quits. Do a live studio album and call it quits. There too. There's ways you could do it.
Yeah, yeah. But I wouldn't know. That's that is up for freaking who. That is up for the band to decide, pretty much. But I don't think anything else. I can't think of anything else we could talk about when it comes to this. I know I said this was going to be about an hour or so, but I think a little over 30 minutes, a little over half an hour is good. So I think we're going to. I
Shout
think we're
shout
gonna.
out to shout out to Metal. Just to give a shout out to Metal Bandits, Mr. Scott,
Yeah,
Boss Man
obviously
himself.
Metal Bed
Hopefully you
will.
guys
Yeah,
come out
obviously,
with
yeah, bet.
something.
Yeah, obviously, I think Ben's gonna do something tonight because they're doing this Saturday, so he might do a radio show. Probably a Nicko McBrain, so probably it'll probably not be on YouTube, so expect it to probably be on Twitch. It's Nicko
Nico has
McBrain.
also Nico has his
Yeah.
own band too called Titanium, which is a
Oh
Maiden
yeah, now
tribute where
Titanium's
he
hard.
plays
Yeah,
a
he
little
did
bit.
mention that was. Yeah, but he did mention that in his announcement. So yeah, that check that out. I'm about to go check that out. So we can go and check that out. I know he's done other stuff outside of Maiden. I know he mentioned Titanium's Heart, so that
Yes,
might be
he has.
something. Hopefully, he can check
He
out.
did it. He did an album with Ian Gillan and Tony Iommi.
That's pretty damn cool right there. Um, but yeah, I think we're gonna
I'll have to.
end it. And some of those who we didn't have anybody in chat, but thanks to those who have come and saw this. This wasn't gonna be long, so yep, we're ending this here. Thank y'all for watching. If you enjoyed this, click the like or dislike, whatever floats your boat. Comment below your thoughts on this announcement, all the things we talked about. And if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button. Yeah, thank you for watching this impromptu live stream of the Nicko McBrain tribute live stream show. We will see y'all later. We will see y'all later. And as always, keep things metal.